What's up everyone, welcome back. Today we're talking about the Berkley NESSIE bait, the swim bait, the soft glide bait. Tell you about my experiences fishing it. Thanks for watching everyone, I appreciate all the new subscribers. Please like and subscribe if you like this sort of content. We're gonna jump right into it and talk about the Berkley NESSIE. Now I did an unboxing video with a bunch of Berkley baits. This was in there. Yesterday went out fishing, beautiful day here in Texas, highs in the 70s, pre-spawn, really the prime time to be throwing a bait like this. So I took the opportunity and fished it a lot. So I'm gonna tell you a few things that I liked about it and some things that I didn't like about it. Now, before we get started, I know about the Grow Design flag. I know what that bait is, so I'm sure there'll be some comments in here. This is very, very similar. It's a Japanese soft glide bait, definitely inspired by it, but this is a much cheaper option, much more readily available option. I actually saw these in Bass Pro Shops already, so they're kind of a lot more widespread. I actually, before I did this video, went on to Tackle Warehouse to check out the flag, and it is not available for back order. So not easy to get. So I know that is the original, kind of the inspiration for this, so let's just get that out of the way. So there's three sizes of the NESSIE. You got the little guy, the 5 inch. It's a 2/5 ounce, so pretty small bait actually, pretty light bait. I'll get to that too, I'll tell you about some experiences casting these things. We also have the 7 inch, which weighs 1 ounce. And then you got the 9 inch, which I believe is about 2 ounces. I don't have a package of it, but it's a little bit more than 2 ounces. Out of the three, fished them all. By far my favorite is a 9. I think it has the best action, very good gliding action. The thing that I liked about it, and I fished some really good places that I should have caught something honestly, but didn't catch any on any of these baits, but it was a very good side to side action. I found the best retrieve was just reeling it pretty fast. It had a nice action. You can see here just a little clip of me just trying it by the side of the boat to give you an idea of what it looked like. But I really liked that action. I think it was a lot easier to fish than these other two. All you had to do is cast it out and reel it in, and the bait does everything else. So a couple things that I liked about this. So it's got this keeper on here. So this is just like they have on the coal shad. It's just a place to put the hook. So it's great because the treble hook fits in there. I did notice actually several times that the hook came out, when you're casting it, which, happens, but then you got to pull it in because the bait's not running right and put it back on there. I actually did already bend it in a little bit just so it's tighter. So that seemed to help. So if you have that situation, I would definitely recommend doing that once in a while, just taking a look. But it has a really good action. I like the bait. It's going to catch fish for sure. It looks great. I'm not a huge glide bait person, but it has that great S motion, that gliding, the side to side action that you want from glide bait, plus it's soft. Now, a couple things that I didn't like. So I'm not crazy about, details on baits, the eyes and things like this, but this one was missing an eye almost immediately. And I wasn't really, skipping it too much, although it does skip very well. I was really kind of doing that more with the 7 inch. I found that it skips extremely well, and so I'm sure this one would. But needless to say, that eye came out really easily. Again, not that big of a deal. I don't know if a fish really cares, but it just came off really easily. So for whatever it's worth. The other thing about this is it's not, even though it's 2 ounces, it doesn't really cast perfectly. You think a 2 ounce bait, you can just bomb it out there. It does seem to sail a little bit. So you've got to be a little bit more careful when you're casting, kind of directing your cast a little bit. So again, just for what it's worth, that was my experience with the 9 inch, but it is definitely my favorite out of them. Great looking bait. It looks just like a gizzard shad in the water. It's got, a lot of cool features on it. It's got the power bait scent in it. I don't know if I do that in every video it seems like, but it still smells, even actually fishing it for a while. So, it's definitely into the bait. Again, I'm not sure how durable this is gonna be, the plastic, because I didn't really catch anything on it, but it feels sturdy, feels like it's gonna stand up. You're gonna catch some fish just like you would with any other soft swim bait. You're gonna catch 10, 15, 20 fish, and it may start getting kind of falling apart, but that'd be a good problem to have, wouldn't it? So let's go to the next one. So I got the 7 inch. So obviously being a little bit smaller, it has a lot tighter action. This one I found, and same with the smaller, even smaller version, you have to really kind of chop it, more like a glide bait. A lot of people fish glide baits like the Chad shad, things like that. You have to impart a lot more action with your reel to get the best action, in my opinion. I'm not a bass, but just kind of how it looks, the eye test, you have to do a little more work with these smaller ones. Now again, since they are smaller, they are also a lot harder to cast. I was fishing these, actually all of these, on just kind of a heavy jig rod. You know, there's no real need for a big swim bait rod because they're not that big, really. I mean, even though this is a 9-inch bait, it weighs about 2 ounces. I mean, you can get by with a pretty standard heavy or extra heavy rod, you know, 20-pound test fluorocarbon. And I haven't experimented with mono or anything else to see how it performs with those kinds of lines. Just did it on 20-pound fluorocarbon. It seemed to keep the bait pretty much near the surface. Now, I did kind of experiment casting along some, you know, docks, some walkways, things like that, trying to draw fish out from under the dock because that's perfect for pre-spawn. Didn't happen. But the one thing I did notice is it sinks extremely slow. So again, even though it's 2 ounces, it takes a while to get down there. So if you're trying to fish deeper than 4 or 5 feet, it's going to take some time. So this is really a bait that you're going to be using around cover, pulling fish from cover, you know, casting by laydowns, you know, the sides of docks like I was trying to do, or trees in this case here. You know, no matter how you do it, it's going to catch fish. It's something different. Again, it looks like the flag, you know, the bait that everyone says Berkley copied, but you can't find those anywhere. These you can find everywhere. So, you know, take that for what it's worth. These are a lot more readily available and they will catch fish. Again, that was just kind of my first impressions with it. Out of the 3, I would probably say the 7 is my middle. So 9 is my favorite, the 7, and then this little guy is the last place, I guess you'd say, but has a good action, you know, good colors, everything else, just a little bit harder to work and cast because it's so light. So that's my thoughts on the Berkley NESSIE. Have you fished it? Let me know. I mean, maybe I'm fishing it wrong. I want to know more about it because I know people are catching fish with this. It's going to be a part of my arsenal the rest of the spring. I'm going to tie it on right now. I'm going fishing tomorrow. So hopefully I have some pictures to show you, post on my social. But again, thanks for watching. That is my thoughts on the Berkley NESSIE.